The next one would be exercise. You know, and they've done lots and lots of studies on this as well. And the general consensus is that any exercise is better than no exercise. So you don't have to, spend hours on a treadmill or run a marathon or lift weights every day or, do things that are, mostly people feel are unpleasant. Just a little exercise has been shown to give some pretty substantial health benefits. And of course, the more exercise you do up to a certain point is going to increase those health benefits, but doing some is better than nothing. You got to get off your butt and move. If you don't, the consequences are bad, and your body will atrophy. And if you, like what you said, if you don't use it, you lose it, and that's really true as far as your body's concerned. So if you just commit to yourself to do some kind of exercise, and whether it's playing a Wii game, even, or you get up off on your feet and you swing the Wii remote around or whatever, if do something. We live very sedentary lifestyles these days and a lot of it's because of technology. Unfortunately, most people are strapped to a computer 8 hours a day, and they sit at a desk 8 hours a day. And you got to get up and get moving at some point, somehow, some way. Make a commitment that I'm going to put in, at least 15 to 30 minutes of some kind of activity every day. And once you start doing that, you'll start to notice some good health changes, and then hopefully, you can increase from there. Well, absolutely. I mean, the more active you are, the higher your metabolism will be, and your body will burn more calories. You'll lose weight. You'll have more energy. It helps your cognitive function. There's just the list of benefits from exercising is a long one, and it doesn't take a whole lot. I mean, there's been studies where walking for 15 minutes a day increased their metabolism, it increased their cognitive function, it increased their energy levels, their overall sense of well-being. There's just a million reasons to do it and zero reasons not to do it. So if you make that commitment, it doesn't take a lot. And the other thing was that it didn't take much exercise to start to see those benefits. Just walking. Set yourself up for success. Set a small goal to begin with. Something that you can definitely achieve. And you start giving your subconscious or your psyche, whatever, you start giving yourself some wins. And once exactly. That's the way to build stronger habits, is start small, give yourself something that you can definitely commit to and can definitely do, instead of setting some huge goal that seems unattainable. Start out with the small goals, and once you've worked through that one, then you set another one, and so forth. Set yourself up for some wins, and you'll be surprised at what can happen. Well, the last thing, and this is something that really most people don't know about, have never been educated on, but working on your body's master control center. Your body is controlled, believe it or not, by your nervous system, your brain and your spinal cord and all the nerves that exit from your spine. That communication system between the brain and the body is super important. And your body is constantly being regulated by your brain and your nervous system. And many times, because of all these other things, they don't get enough sleep, they eat a crappy diet, they don't get any exercise, their body starts to atrophy and their spine starts to atrophy. And what happens is that when that happens, your nervous system starts to become interfered with. And if your nervous system and spinal cord are not working properly, there's no way that your body can function at an optimal level. That's where chiropractic comes in. If we find that there's, because of a misaligned or degenerated spine, that there's interference in your nervous system, we start adjusting people and get the pressure off of the nervous system. Their body will start to function better all on its own, just because the brain is able to communicate with body tissues and regulate them the way that they're supposed supposed to be regulated. That applies to everyone. Just my thing would be is take those 4 topics, pick a little goal in each one of those 4, and commit to it and start doing it. And after a little while, once that has become a habit for you, then set some new goals. A little, just raise the bar just a little bit higher and kind of gradually work your way up to it. And this is gonna realize right off the get-go that this is gonna take some time, right? I think most people, they don't see instantaneous results, so they get discouraged and they quit. And that's, guaranteed way to fail. You just go into this with the understanding that this is going to take some time. It might be 6 months before you see some identifiable changes. And I would say the biggest thing, at least for me, is most people, these changes happen so slowly that people don't even realize that they're taking place. So, you got to write down, before you start, write down how you feel and, the things that you want to change and why you want to change them. If you're having certain symptoms or you're having certain lab reports or you're having certain problems, write all that stuff down so that you'll remember. And then, in 12 weeks from now or 16 weeks from now, you can look back at that and say, oh, wow, I really was that bad. And then you can start to see the changes. Otherwise, those changes, I see this with patients all the time, that after I've been working on them for 12 weeks, they come in and they're feeling really pretty good at this point. And then what I do is I'll take them back and read their new patient paperwork to them. And I'll say, hey, when you came in, you told me this, and you told me that, and you told me that I had pain in my leg, and I had headaches every day, and I had this and that and the other thing. And most of them are really blown away. They're like, because they don't really remember how bad that they were. And if you do that, you give yourself a measuring stick, so to speak, to see the improvements that are happening, even though they're happening slowly, because that's what really, I think, derails a lot of people. They don't see results quickly enough, and that's just the nature of the beast. The results are going to happen slowly, and remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. When I'm working with patients, we have, I guess, our office, at least I've been told by most of my patients, our office is pretty unique and different. We put people on kind of a regimen of doing certain things. We have them, when they come into our office, before we adjust them, we have them do some warm-up exercises. Do you want me to go into wobble chair and all that? We have our patients do some real brief, about 4 minutes or so of warm-up exercises, just to kind of limber up the spine and prepare it to be adjusted. Of course, the patients can do things on their own that will help that process as well, but doing some strengthening exercises will help you help your spine to become more stable, if you will, especially any kind of core exercises. That'll help things become more stable. Stretching is good for anybody. Most people are pretty sedentary, and what happens when you're sedentary is your muscles get short, and you lose flexibility and range of motion. So therefore, when you go out and you try to do some exercise, you don't have the flexibility, you don't have the range of motion, and by the time you're done exercising, you're really, really sore. And that's just because your body's not able to move like you want it to. And so, of course, stretching is good, massage is good, chiropractic is good. All of those things are going to help your body to function better.